welcome back to the UK. Last time we saw you, it was quite a short while ago when you opened that great evening at Wembley, Blessed and Sharing and Alter Bridge. How does it feel to be back to the UK as a headliner?
It's great. It was kind of our whole mission. We're like, set it all up so we could come back. And we actually had plans of when we were actually doing the shows with Alter Bridge, we could announce the tour. So yeah, we really haven't gone over here that much until recently, the last few years, which it's kind of head scratching for the band because we've had records out since 2002, like 10 years, but yet we really haven't played a show here. You know, we played one show here in 2002, and that was really about it until 2008 or 9 or something. So we're just happy we can come back over here, and now you know, people are starting to know we are here. We're getting, you know, quite a bit of radio play, and you know, we're playing some great venues. So it just goes to show you that the hard work does pay off, and the fact that, you know, you show up more often, people will start coming around. It really works.
And how was Birmingham last night?
Birmingham, it was good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was. The crowd was good. It's a great city. We shot a music video the day before we flew out here to do this tour, and it was up in Vancouver, and they actually made it rain inside, so soaking wet. And I'm like, I think this is a good idea. Of course, I got sick from it, so it's catching up to me. But you know, I'm doing my best.
And in anticipation on tonight's setlist, compared to the one you had at Wembley, besides the fact that obviously you're going to have more time.
Well, we wish we could play them all. The problem we have with playing over here and in Europe is that people know every song. They want to hear B-sides, they want to hear tracks from our first record, they want to hear, you know, tracks that we did, like cover songs, we did stuff we did on soundtracks, you know, and it's like, you can hear them shouting it, and I'm like, oh, we're not playing that one. They're like, what about blah, blah? I'm like, we're not playing that one either. It's impossible. So we're doing like 16 songs, and, you know, obviously there's a few songs that we feel we have to play every night, and then the rest really is just, let's just try them out. But so far I think our set is, it's almost there. Like, you know, once in a while you play a couple songs and you can see there's some of the crowds into it, and some of the crowds like, I've never heard this song. But, you know, that's the best thing about it, is you really could play anything you want over here.
True. And after a short break, then you go back to the North American tour, starting in Tallahassee, Florida, with the Evo Pop and Stellar revival supporting. You have very, very short breaks. So what is the driving force behind so much energy to tour so much?
Just a lot of drugs. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems, you know, a lot nowadays bands are becoming more self-sufficient and less reliant on, you know, record labels. You always hear the stories about the 80s where bands like Def Leppard were traveling in Learjets and going in limos and staying in 5-star hotels, and they never really thought about how they were paying for all this, because the record label was paying for all of it, and then the band would never recoup from selling millions of records and never see a dime. And so nowadays bands don't really sell millions of records, so the labels aren't putting them on Learjets and limousines, so we kind of have to take care of ourselves, so we just end up touring a lot more, because, you know, we sell t-shirts and sell records that way, which is great. It's really good. I love being out on the road, which is nice, because if I hated it, it would suck.
It's a good feeling. It comes from you like a good live band.
Yeah.
You can tell that you're
fun.
happy to play live. Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking about the forthcoming US tour, is there any particular city in the US where you like to play?
Well, we play a lot off of our third record, Scars and Souvenir, which was our most successful in the States. And we always like playing a lot of new songs. We actually had this discussion on the bus the other day about how sometimes we put together a set list that is kind of selfish, because we'll always be like, oh, we want to play this song, all right, but we never really think about, well, the show's not for us, the show's for the fans. We have to, unfortunately, there are certain songs we should have to play every night, because there is a little bit of an expectation.
Yes.
But yeah, we kind of play a lot more of the new stuff in the States than all of the old stuff.
Yes. And what about in Canada? Are you expected to play at home? at all in the next tour, or?
We just played. We just actually before this we were in Canada. We did a Canadian tour, which was great. We actually got to do. We did all theaters, and we put on an hour and a half show where we actually in the middle of the set we did a stripped down thing with just acoustic guitars and a smaller drum kit for a few songs, which we've never done before. We thought it was a great opportunity
That
for
sounds
us.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
And why did you choose to do that in Canada?
I just felt after all these years, we'd seen other bands do it, and we really loved MTV had a thing called MTV Unplugged, and bands would do acoustic versions of their songs, and we never got the opportunity to really do something special. And we thought it had been quite a long time since we've been up to Canada. We really had neglected it for quite a while. Just been so busy with other countries that we thought, let's do something a little different and special just for Canada.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going back a little bit to the beginning of Theory with Deadman, can I ask how did you come up with such an interesting name? It really sounds good.
Theory of Deadman. What was it? It was a song title. I had the song years ago before we even were Theory of the Deadman that I wrote called Theory of the Deadman. And the song just stuck with us, and we worked on it, and it changed. Some lyrics changed, whatnot. And it ended up becoming a song called The Last Song on our first record, the self-titled one. So we were looking for a band name, and really it had nothing to do with anything other than we enjoyed the phrase. We didn't know what it really meant. There was no really hidden meaning behind it, and the fact we thought it was thought-provoking. It was different.
Very different.
Yes.
Yeah. And what would you say are the band's main inspirations? And what are the main inspirations to you as such a brilliant singer and guitarist?
Well, we grew up in Vancouver, so a lot of we were inspired by a lot of the Seattle scene. We were growing up when that was kind of blown up. So a lot of Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Nirvana. I learned the whole Nirvana record. Me and a buddy would play the whole Nirvana record, and the first one, and that was pretty much all we would listen to. We just felt we were about a 3-hour drive from Seattle, so we kind of felt like it was so close that we felt like we were in it. So we just for us that was all there was at that time.
Yeah. And what about as a singer? Because it's such a personal voice, I think.
It's kind of hard because a lot of my favorite singers are all, singers that aren't the same style as me. I'm a bass, so I have a really low voice.
Yeah.
And all my favorite singers are these Robert Plant, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, that could sing stuff that I could never do. So I just kind of did my own thing. I just found this kind of groove where I felt comfortable to sing. And I guess early on for me, Jim Morrison was kind of one of those singers that I kind of related to. He used to do this gnarly yelling thing.
Gnarly, yeah, that's the word.
And I guess my voice is most relatable to him. I guess when they were one of the first bands I started listening to, and his voice was very deep.
Yeah.
And
you mentioned some amazing bands from the Seattle scene. Would you ever consider doing a cover of any of the songs from these amazing bands in the near future?
Yeah, well, we've done an Alice in Chains cover, Got Me Wrong.
Yes.
We always thought it'd be cool to do a Temple the Dog cover. I love Pearl Jam. I would love to do a Pearl Jam cover too. There's a bazillion songs from Pearl Jam that I'd love to do. I couldn't think of one. But yeah, definitely in the future. I love doing covers because it completely takes you out of your realm of I don't know, it almost seems like it's when you're doing a cover, there's no pressure. It's just like you're having fun. And almost once in a while, we tour so much that we play our own music for so long that once in a while it's like, let's just do something fun. Let's play a cover or something, because it's like this nice little breather for us.
Yes. And speaking about new bands, is there any up and coming band either here in Europe or in the US you're you're interested into and you are listening to at the moment?
Well, I mean, I don't get a lot of opportunity to listen to new bands. I don't. I live in LA, so the radio stations there are kind of a little different. I'm not really into a lot of stuff I hear there. But over here, which is cool, is that we get to tour with bands like The Crave, which is a band we toured with before, and they've got great music. They're great musicians, but they just got this great sound that reminds me a lot of this band called Injected. The Crave.
And speaking about your latest album, The True Face, it's been out for a short while, let's say. Most of the songs are like Beach Came Back and Love Is Hell, are based on relationship and women, and they don't necessarily portray them as positive experiences. Is it something, I hope it's okay to ask you this, is it something like personal, or is it like a general theme that attracts you?
No, it's all personal stuff. I write everything from the heart, or as I like to say, the heartless. But sometimes I get pigeonholed as being a little misogynistic, but that's more of a generalization because the songs are usually about one person, so it's not like I'm saying, there's no songs like, I hate women, I'm tired of women. It's usually, they're all very personal and based on a personal situation of mine. I've gone through a breakup. I'm not in a good, I'm very bitter. So I write about a song called Love Is Hell, how I'm tired of, I'm never falling in love again. I mean, it's, I think people are more interested in hearing songs like that because, you know, people get depressed or sad or stressed out, they turn to music to help them lift them up, you know. And so people feel best, ironically, when they see that other people feel as crappy as they do. It's true. So true. You know, it's so true. So if someone goes through a breakup or they're having a hard time with something, they listen to something saying, "Hey, I'm going through a hard time too." They actually feel better. They can get through the day. So that's probably why a part of me likes writing those kind of songs. I think I get misinterpreted sometimes because people think, how can you hate your life? There's a song called I Hate My Life. People are like, how do you hate your life? You got such a wonderful life. I'm like, you don't understand. It's not, I don't hate my life. I'm just, you know, I'm being relatable to the audience, the people that are buying our music. You know, they drive to work and they get stuck in traffic and they have no money or, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They can relate to the song.
That's a great song.
But we all go through it, yeah.
Are you happy with the results? The truth is getting still.
Yeah, we feel like we're progressing, which is great. I don't like seeing bands that don't progress, and it sucks sometimes because fans want bands to stay, you know, exactly the same. You know, there's been so many bands over the years, like Pearl Jam. When they started out, they were really heavy for that time, and then they progressed, and now that the music is a lot different. A lot of people are kind of like, boo, why did you change? But bands have to change. I mean, U2 is a great example. I'm a huge U2 fan. And you listen to the first album, which can be almost borderline punk. They really are. It was really kind of thrashy stuff. And then as it grows and grows, and then they go into this, they do the Joshua Tree and then into like pop, where it was all started getting drum machines and Zooropa. It was just like, you listen to the first record and listen to Zooropa, you're like, what happened here? And there's probably a lot of backlash, but look how huge they are because they're able to progress and be diverse. And I think our new record, The Truth is progressing and becoming more diverse. I think that's smart for fans to do that.
What are the plans for the rest of 2012 and 2013?
Well, we're going to come back in June to do Download.
You are, so it's confirmed. That's really good news.
Yeah.
Very good news.
Yes, we're excited about that.
Good. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. They told me not to say anything. I'm like, I'll say whatever I want.
I think people want to know. So thank you. Yeah.
And then we're going to, I think, spend a lot of time in the U.S. over the summer doing festivals.
You're doing Oklahoma as well. I know this now.
Yeah,
that's
Rock
a great
on the Range.
lineup. Yeah. Last question. Yeah. And so basically the rest of the year will be dedicated to touring, and the year after 2015
You'll
we
see.
already had plans, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.